an unknown solution for an unrecognized problem. Oftentimes when I'm talking to someone who hasn't heard of BlackLine before, that's the way I like to frame the sort of solution. Now, more often than not, when I'm speaking to a new organization evaluating the tool today, the reason we're in the door having the conversation is usually someone has joined their finance team, utilized BlackLine in a previous role, now wants to bring it to the organization they've now joined. But to those that it's new, it's a solution and a technology that most organizations don't know that something like this exists and that there's actually a more efficient and effective way to manage your financial close processes. So today we're going to be talking about finance and accounting priorities. So different organizations have different priorities, but a tool like this is relevant to organizations no matter what your finance and accounting priorities are. So let's jump in and have a look. So when we talk about finance and leadership priorities for an organization, what I've got here is a slide we often start with, talk about, what those priorities might be, and forget, what BlackLine is and what BlackLine does. This is more just supposed to be, generally. And when I was thinking about how best to speak about this, it was really drawing back to an accounting concept from my management accounting days back in my undergraduate degree, and the concept of indirect versus direct costs of producing something. Right? You've got your direct costs associated with manufacturing a single widget versus your indirect costs, which you still need to factor into the mix, but cannot be sort of attributed as easily to that specific thing. And I think you can look at these leadership priorities and look at them through that same lens. So there's stuff on this list that are direct benefits of a financial close solution like BlackLine. And so I've kind of highlighted some ones on there. And if you've watched some other videos in our series, you probably would have started to see this, but just calling out a couple ones of sort of interest, recruit or retain top talent. No one wants to do manual grunt work. We've got a great blog post on our website here by one of our consultants, Ben, talking about his time as a BlackLine customer. And moving from an organization utilizing BlackLine to one that was not, and how that impacted his job search further down the track, or things like process efficiency through automating reconciliations. We've got a video in our series talking about the different automation rules that exist sort of within BlackLine. So that's great. It's great if one of your priorities is something that's highlighted in dark purple here, because that means we can tie something that BlackLine does directly back to those priorities. But if I look at the other things highlighted in white, why is BlackLine relevant there as well? Well, the way it's relevant is, similar to what indirect costs would be, right? You can indirectly realize benefit towards these priorities through what, BlackLine at its core does. Really the solution is about doing things more efficiently and effectively, and that thereby releases capacity from your team. So if I spend less time, reconciling data or completing control activities, that is now capacity that your organization has to redeploy to whatever your priorities are. So when I talk about, why a financial close solution can be relevant to organizations, even when their priorities lie outside of what is, a direct benefit of financial close solution, really it's about capacity, giving you back more capacity to your team for the things that need to be done, so you can redeploy that capacity to whatever is your organization's F&A leadership priorities. Thanks very much.